Hey, we're always happy, but today we're delighted. How'd that get back feel, Packers? How'd that get back go for you? How'd coming here again go for you? How's all those fake play-by-play dudes who do that thing on the mic in Wisconsin? How are they today? I just want to know how everybody's feeling up there, that's all.
At the end of the day, it's after Packers always.
How are you feeling today?
You know what? I know I feel a lot better than anybody from north of the border. I can tell you that. I feel, first of all, sorry. But at the same time, I'm glad I am along for this ride. Because this ride's been a long time coming.
Absolutely. Yes. And the Packers choked. And the Bears were awesome in the fourth quarter. Awesome in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, if we're doing petty Packers stuff right now, if that's where we're going right now,
yes.
That's what you guys are looking at me for here right now. Yeah, I tuned into Packers radio today, and you know what all they were talking about today was? They were talking about firing their coach and whether the coach, let's take another call. Should Matt LaFleur be canned? Let's take another call. Oh, my God, I can't believe the Packers choked against the Bears. They did. Choke? You choked, Green Bay. Yes, you did. Badly. And guess what? It's a new day, and this day is going to continue. So live with that, Green Bay. You got nothing. You have nothing today.
Well, that's funny because everybody seemed to say last week that was a far-fetched idea. John Harbaugh's available. Suddenly I'm hearing about the Upper Peninsula being a factor in a coaching search, which I still think the state of Wisconsin should have annexed. I don't care about your agreements, and I don't care about him today. The bottom line is 15 years in the making. This stretch could almost drive legally. And here we are talking about a feeling that is uncharted territory for me since living here 10 years. It feels different this time around, no matter how you put it. It puts other sadder benchmarks to bed. And now we're trying to figure out if I even still believe the Bears won that game.
And that's the thing, Leila, because I owe the Bears an apology. I picked against the Bears. I thought the Packers would win. You know why I thought the Packers would win? Because even after this game, they still have not run a single offensive play against the Packers this season in which they had the lead. Like, they haven't run an offensive play with the lead in 3 games, but yet they found a way to win 2 out of the 3 games. And understanding that even after Caleb Williams had already led 6 fourth-quarter comebacks, to think that he couldn't do a 7th even while watching the game. Shame on me. I guess shame on all of us who thought that the game was over at some point, because the game clearly was not over until the final whistle went off.
Then be honest with yourselves. That's all of us.
Is it all of us?
Yes. And you know what? You don't have to tell me this is not confessional. But just be honest with yourself in a private thought. Don't write it down. To type it in your notes app. Some other app will get a hold of it. Just be honest with yourself.
Yes, and if it makes you feel good to slam Marshall and I for picking the Packers, and I get it, that's all part of it. I was right, you were wrong. If it
not
makes
like I picked him by 50.
If it makes you feel better, if that's your comfort area, we gave that to you. But there's no and Leila picked the Bears, and she is saying it, and I think she's speaking for a lot of people who picked the Bears. You didn't think they were going to win that game. I'm not looking at you, Leila. I'm talking to the audience.
Okay, you can look at me.
Yes, you didn't think they were going to win that game at several times.
Several times,
or at least maybe that's just I'm going back to me.
I typed it in my Bears Google Doc several times.
Right, so
I was crap, this is over.
If you're being intellectually honest, Bears fans, again, if you need us, I'm here.
I'll be
I've read some of the
today.
comments. Yeah, I'm all for it. I don't care for the nasty, but I was right, you were wrong, and that's all fun because that's all part of it. So if you need it, we had the guts to pick the Packers. But I will say, I would like to quote the great Roma Dunze as he was walking from off the field into the locker room where the media is gathered, and Roma Dunze says, quote, "Y'all should know by now."
Yeah.
You all should know by now. And that's true. There's no easy there's no simple way to look at this and say, yep, that's where the Bears won the game and it's that they were going to win coming in. We should know by now that it's going to be magic, it's going to be miraculous. You're right, Roma Dunze, we should know by now.
Mark, I have placed Les Grobstein's bobblehead facing it.
Oh, no, Les, where is he?
He's right here.
Oh, there he is. Hi,
He's
Les.
on the speaker.
KMA, right, Les?
Yeah, so if what would Les be saying to you for doubting the Bears?
Oh my God! All you Packers fans wearing the urine yellow and the puke green out there. I see all you guys. It doesn't matter anymore. KMA, you're going to be bad for the next 10 years. Oh, I just love the crying that's going on, especially like listening to Javon Bullard, that cut they played during transition, and like just being, that's petty. Like, if we're going to play, is this petty? Like, it was us. It was us. Yeah, you did choke, but the Bears also played like superstars in the fourth quarter.
Narrator, this entire week will be petty. Yes, there is preparation for the Rams, but no. And also, guess what? It is a first for me today. This is my first Bears playoff win Monday.
Yeah, Leila, let's go. Let's go.
Have a first.
This is it. How you feeling? Does it feel okay? You look good.
I don't know how to feel. Do you? Do
Leila,
you really?
Leila,
Do you? Do you?
When you don't know how to feel, this is what I do. I look at the text line. Let me tell you something about how to feel. Some of these texts will tell you not only how you did feel, but maybe how you still feel, but understandable. They're all relatable. My favorite of these texts so far, 815. I did consider switching from vodka to bleach at halftime. Like that's where people were watching it was 21-3,
man.
And before it was 21-6 going into the fourth quarter, even at 21-3, I was like, look, I know they've made comebacks, but I'm watching Jordan Love do the things that I talked about him not being able to do. Like, you can't let him stand back there like a statue and just do what he wants. It was like a flashback to the first game. Was it not?
Oh, 100%. And that's where I also sit with this. Like, does it feel better or worse that they were down so much and you felt whatever you were watching at the time, and now you're having to deal with it on the other side? Like, what, you didn't get the outright whooping that you may have wanted. You also got to feel defeat in this game many times.
It was the agony of defeat, and then the way I described it when I talked about it after the game was, it's a roller coaster you've been on several times. You know what it's supposed to feel like, but that's why you keep getting back on your favorite roller coaster, because of the way it makes you feel, but it's so great. But this time, I literally thought the roller coaster was going to collapse and I was going to fall to my death. Is that a fair way of looking at it?
Yeah, like, that of all the comebacks, that was the one I thought was the least probable.
Marshall, that might be your best analogy ever.
Because the roller coaster thing's real, right? And we all love if you love roller coasters, you love the way it makes you feel when you're on it. Even though in your mind, nothing's going to go wrong on this roller coaster. I'm just going up and down and sideways and maybe upside down. But on this particular ride, I was like, how long is this? When was the last time this roller coaster was serviced?
I'd like to add to the analogy, if I may.
Yes.
You ready for this? You ready for this? Okay, so if the fourth quarter is the ride, like, you get to go down, like you're going up the Raging Bull, and now you're about to come down. The first three quarters is the 2-hour line you have to stand in. Ooh. That's what that is. That's the line to get on Raging Bull. That's the line to get on the American Eagle. That's the line to get on the Batman ride. It sucks. It's painful. I'm thinking about, oh my God, are the Bears going to hold a 9 a.m. locker clean out? I'm going to get home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got to get up 2 hours later to go to Hallis Hall and talk to players who are going to be reflective about a horrible loss to Green Bay, and then we have to ask them about next season and all that stuff. I was dreading that.
You were thinking about questions already, weren't you?
Of course I was. Yes.
Can we agree, though, that we could just, spend a little extra money and get Caleb and company a fast pass?
Fast pass.
Would that help?
Yeah, man. Skip the middle school kids with too much PDA in line.
Yeah, the fast pass is a dream. Yes, that's what we'll work towards for this game. Again, like, I'm not giving up, like, for the Bears, like, to have 4 quarters of good football against the Rams. But we'll really work on that fast pass in the offseason. Write that down, Marshall Harris.
Also, we owe Tyler Farringall an apology. Don't you remember he broke out his just gotten for Christmas Caleb Williams jersey for the game despite wearing green on Friday?
Yeah.
Tyler Farringall, you're apologized too. Also, Ray, thank you for sending the video where there is an edited version of It's Chicago, and then there's the real version of It's Chicago. One of those we can say on the air, and the other one we can't.
Back to the text line, 815. I want to bottle this feeling up and sell it in Chicago to become a billionaire. And I think you could. I think you could sell what the exhilaration was in Saturday night. And if you told people you can do that all the time, people would sign up to ride that ride. Even though it takes you to a dark place.
It's a haunted house ride.
Yes,
at
it's a haunted house.
It's the Disney where the floor drops.
Yes.
You guys ever been on that ride where literally the floor drops? That's what it is.
I love them all. So I think we have to ask this of ourselves, and you can ask, listen, just be honest with yourself and your heart right now. I'm not making you talk out loud. We'll do that at 10:45. At what point did you think this game was over?
I thought the game was over when the Bears couldn't score. Not when they went for it on 4th and 5 from their own 32. Because I understood that, and I was with that decision. I was like, this makes sense because the middle 8 is a thing, and I don't agree with Ben Johnson's decision to take the football. I understand what he was trying to do, but the middle 8's too important, especially in a game like this. I was like, if you know you can't stop them, you don't want to punt, and then they run out the rest of the clock and then score a touchdown or a field goal. At least this way, give your team a chance to hold them to a field goal. You get one more shot to score a touchdown, and that kind of gets you some momentum going into halftime. But when they didn't score at the end of the first half, that's when I was like, all right, this game's over. It's 21-3. And then when they missed the field goal, I was like, there's no way they're slowing this team down.
21-3, a buzzsaw. And at that point, over 3 games against the Packers, they had a total of 6 points to show for it. When was it for you?
It was the Matthew Golden 23-yard. It was 21-16 Green Bay. And in my mind, I'm like, they can do this, but the Bears have to be perfect. They have to be perfect in this quarter, in this half. He makes that deadly Matthew Golden, the 23-yard catch and run where he's just bowling over guys. Like, I don't know, like Bears players were just falling at his feet as he runs into the end zone. It makes it 27-16. They do miss the extra point, 27-16 with 6:36 left. To me, that's where I was like, okay. It's as if I didn't already kind of think that with the halftime score. That was the point at which I'm like, I'm out. The Bears are going to lose this game because of that play.
So I was even more despondent earlier. After 14-3 and seeing TJ Edwards go down and on the cart, and then he's in an air cast. And I do think that they've done a better job with the turf. We all know that at Soldier Field. But there's so much slipping and falling, and the surface combined with the weather. That was unfortunate to see. I'm worried about Ozzie Trapillo. That's a separate topic.
Yeah.
All of that said, for me, it seemed insurmountable at 14-3 by the way they were playing and how the defense just couldn't get a stop. And I kept thinking about what Matt Bowen said to Lawrence Holmes and Matt Spiegel when he talked about, number 1, the Sophie's choice of man or zone, which they seemed to very much be in. Number 2, at that point, it was only 2 drives in, right? And we hadn't seen Tyreek Stevenson or Kyler Gordon yet. I assumed Kyler Gordon was out. I don't know about you guys, but at that point I was like, I guess he's not coming in. And then additionally, after just seeing the way they were marching down the field, knowing the time of possession had been dominated so well, and then once it became 21-3, I was like, well, this is done. You know, because at that point they had drives of 85 yards, 456, 87 yards, 537. 32 yards, 319. The missed field goal, for whatever reason, was some sort of weird mojo. And at that point, you're just like, oh, they got to stop. It was a missed field goal because of the weather. I just felt that despondent watching the first half.
Yeah, I got to say, like, when... And I'm going to say this right now because there probably won't be a whole lot of kicker talk on the show today. Cairo Santos versus what's his first name? Brandon McManus, not Sean McManus. Cairo Santos, just saying it, 3 for 3, including a 51-yarder. McManus missed 2 field goals and an extra point. Usually, for whatever reason, when a team misses an extra point, it always seems to come back to get you in some way, shape, or form. And that's not necessarily the death knell to the team, but it's just a bad omen for a team, especially in a game like that when an extra point is missed. So shout out to Cairo Santos before that gets away from us.
So I agree with you completely. Santos was flawless in this game. The 51-yard field goal I was holding my breath for that, but I was like, oh, you really got that.
He misses weird ones, but then he makes important ones.
Yeah.
He looked really good in the pregame. He looked really confident. He sounded really confident throughout the weekend. Not that he doesn't usually, but I will say this about Cairo Santos. There was an extra pep in his step throughout the weekend. Maybe that's everybody because it's Packers and we know the situation, we know the stakes, but he seemed ready for that.
No, he deserves credit. The special teams unit deserves credit because They also, Devin Duvernay had, I think, again, showed signs of life, like helped.
40-yarder?
Exactly. Just help try to get the crowd going, help get the Bears going with field position when the adjustments seemed insurmountable. And then we see Kyler Gordon come back. We see Tyreek Stevenson, who I think, there were some issues with effort in prevent defense, but think about how he's still hustling and causes that fumble out of bounds at the goal line. That at least makes them have to go 4 more plays on that drive. Kyler Gordon had to stop on that drive. That makes them go 2 more plays. And it just seemed like that was the little by little by little, brick by brick, grain of sand by grain of sand.
And then we're like, whoa, it's actually happening after all that sand.
As far as when I knew this game was over, I told you that. But when I knew the Bears were alive, it was very simple. It was quite simple. When Golden missed that field goal, the last one, I was like, oh, well, the Bears are going to win now. Because now it went back to, I understand what this team is, what their identity is, and you've given Caleb Williams a chance to win the game late.
So for you, it was that Pyrrhic victory before halftime.
Yeah.
It was big. I agree.
No. I'm saying that the second field goal that he missed.
Oh.
The late one.
Oh.
Waylon
and I were like, you're right.
No. When it was the fourth quarter and he missed the field goal with 2:56.
Yarder, yeah.
When it was 2:56 left on the clock, I was like, oh, wait. The Bears actually could just take the lead on this drive. And Caleb Williams, as Ben Johnson has told us, is literally built for this, and he went and did what he is built for.
How bad did it feel that the Packers had the ball to start? The defense was great, and I know we're about to get into that, but didn't it just feel like such a lost moment that after that horrible first, and now the Packers have the football?
No, I mean, it's all, this game was a movie.